Here we go, College Football Payoff podcast. We are back. It is part 2 of our bowl season. What episode?
Episode 73.
73. That's Fuji. I'm Dan. We'll be covering the bowls from, 12/27. So December 27th through the College Football Playoff.
To the
the
CFP.
semifinals.
Yep.
Yep.
Man, finally we're down to some good games.
Yeah.
Instead of like last episode was a drag.
Yeah, getting through those games is tough. I know that I was down in Columbus. So you got to watch like one good game, I think it was. I'm trying to remember.
I was in Vegas for the Army Navy game. So,
oh my God, can we talk about that real quick?
that was a lot of moans and groans at the end of that game in the sports book.
I took the under.
Did you get it at 28.5 though?
No, I lost on that safety.
So you had it at 27.5.
Yeah, I lost on the fucking safety. Like when they got the stop, I'm like, oh sweet. Like the first thing you think about is like, good, they didn't score, game's over. And then I saw how close they were to the end zone. I'm like, oh, shit, they're going to take a safety.
Yep.
When I saw them back there, I go, motherfuckers. Oh, that's brutal, but good for them. Well, real quick, I know that I've already had one of my locks play through from the last episode.
I've had 2.
Did you win any of them?
I'm at 1-1 right now.
All right, so I had, and which ones did you win?
Texas Tech, easy cover.
State.
Dude, you guys suck. For a point win, it gets a MAC school with their third string quarterback.
We fought against that game then, didn't we? Because I had Miami plus 5.5.
Did you get it? Yeah.
That was my lock.
Nice stuff. Nice stuff.
And then my other game is actually here in a few days, Georgia Tech, UCF. And then Troy and Duke. All right,
we were together on Troy there.
Yeah.
Lots happened since the episode, though. They lost their coach.
So we were together on Troy -7. What is it at now? What's it change?
It's actually at Troy -8.
All right, cool.
So,
all right, awesome. That works for us. Okay, so we're gonna just fly through this. We got the December 27th games through. So let's go. We'll have the same format. Talk about the game if we have anything. We'll give you the totals and the spreads as of today, which is December 19th. And obviously, disclaimer on all these games, be wary of it. I mean, we're 8 days out from the first game of this episode, so a lot can change. Like we said, you could have a coach leave, you could have guys enter transfer portal, all that stuff. So,
man, yeah.
All right.
We won't go into it, but a lot of fun stuff with the transfer portal already.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure.
Well, real quick, we'll go into
it real quick. Boy McCord's going to Syracuse.
What does that tell you? Like, Kyle McCord going to Syracuse?
I'm actually pumped to see where Syracuse goes because that coaching staff is making moves right now in the portal. So I know you picked McCord as your leader, but everybody got what they wanted. He got a guaranteed starting spot.
Yeah, good.
The state, have a shot at actually having a dog at quarterback instead of a puppy.
Yeah.
The new coaching staff at Syracuse got a solid guy. Like Kyle McCord isn't terrible. He's just not good enough to be.
He's not
Ohio State starter.
Yeah, he's not a big time quarterback for a big time school.
He's small Power 5 guy.
Good for him.
Nothing wrong with that. I was a non-Power 5 guy. I wasn't even a G5 guy. I was not a D1 guy. So good for them.
Well, we talk about that, and then also with commitments flipping. I don't think I've ever seen a 5-star quarterback flip multiple times before going to college, and that's that Dylan Raiola.
Yeah, his uncle's at Nebraska on the coaching staff.
So he starts Ohio State, flips to Georgia, and he flips from Georgia to Nebraska, and that's where Kyle McCord was actually looking at.
He must have ran McCord off.
Yeah,
McCord was also, I've heard his daddy does a lot of the negotiating for him, and they were looking for a guaranteed starting spot. So I guess you got to go to Syracuse, New York for that.
Hey, good luck. All right, well, that's all we'll talk about the transfer portal. We'll just get right into it. And we'll start with our first game here. It's the Military Bowl. This is 2:00 on December 27th, which would be, a Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, we're going to say yeah.
All right, cool. Military Bowl, Virginia Tech versus Tulane. What do you have for the spread, the total?
Said you can get it 9.5. Virginia Tech minus 9.5, all the way to Tulane plus 10.5. So you got about a point variance there.
And then what do you have for the total?
Man, just total right now sitting at 45.5.
Okay. Do you have anything with this one?
I can't bet it. There's just simply 6-6 Virginia Tech, weak ass ACC this year, against a Tulane team that has a shitload of transfers and lost their head coach to Houston. It's going to lose their starting quarterback. I don't even know if he's playing this game. But man, Virginia Tech should not be a 10.5 point favorite. So I guess I would lean Tulane. No lock.
Yeah,
For sure, no lock.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to lean something, my lean would be on Tulane. And what did you say it was at? Sorry.
Tulane at plus 10.5.
Yeah, I would lean Tulane plus 10.5. This is it should be renamed from military to the backup bowl. I mean, we know that bowl season's crazy and
Nice
weird
one.
things happen. Thanks. But I feel like this is a game where no one really knows what's going to happen, and like you said, Virginia Tech's just a 6-6, like a scrub team. So, but Tulane had some firepower throughout
that program's
the year.
had a tough fall.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. But yeah, that's where we're leaning. Is Tulane plus 10.5. I probably wouldn't be too confident with it though. Okay, sticking on that Wednesday, the 27th at 5:30 p.m., the Duke's Mayo Bowl, North Carolina versus West Virginia. This is actually the Mayo Less Bowl, isn't it?
Mayo Less?
Oh, wow. Come on.
Nice.
Come on.
If you didn't catch that one, Drake May's sitting out.
Drake sitting out.
Man, a lot of line discrepancy in this one. You can get a WVU minus 6.5. You can also get at ESPN Bet, you can get a WVU minus 5 at Bet Rivers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're locking up.
Okay.
WVU minus 5. Book it, lock it. I am the WVU guy.
the head honcho, the savant, the sharp.
Dude, it would mean a lot for Neil Brown to get a bowl win. He's coming back next year. The AD's already said, and you have to go against a laundry list of backups over at UNC. So, Virginia's familiar with playing in North Carolina for their bowl games. I don't think that UNC crowd will travel that well. I mean, although they're in state, it's just like, why would you want to buy tickets to a bowl game and watch a bunch of backups? Yeah, that's simple. There were actually a good bit of kids from WVU's team this year named to first through second or third team All-Americans by different publications, and all those guys are playing bowl games. These guys got something to prove, and I feel comfortable laying the 5. So look it in. WVU minus 5. Bet Rivers. Oh, by the way, with the results, I'm 22, 25, and 3 on the year, with 5 picks left from last pod episode to be determined, and we'll have some today too. So we got a real shot at turning this thing around big for the end of the year.
Whatever my record was at the beginning of the last episode, just add 1 into it, because that's all I have. All right, yeah, WVU. If you lock it up, I'm locking it up with you, but it's not an official lock for me. I'm just gonna play you because WVU. All right. 2 more games to go on the 27th. This one is 8 p.m., the DirecTV Holiday Bowl, Louisville against USC. What do you have for the line here?
I don't want to bet this game, but I got Louisville. I'm sitting at minus 7.5, over under at 58.
Minus 7.5?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's what I am going to go with here. This is a lock for me, Louisville minus 7.5. When I talk about this, let me highlight it in my notes here with the yellow highlighter. Ooh, it's yellow. All right, Louisville minus 7.5. I think Louisville's in a lot better shape coming into this game. Coming into the season or the bowl season, they have a healthier roster. They have a more complete roster. And USC is going to be without their former Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. I think that puts them at a huge disadvantage. And I've liked this Louisville team all year. I think the defense can shut down USC. I think the offense can ramp it up when they need to. Um, I'm expecting Louisville to put up a lot of points here. Louisville's, they're well, USC. I'm sorry, misspoke. They're 1-8 against their spread in their last 9 games. They've looked atrocious, even with Caleb Williams at the helm. They just look all discombobulated. I don't feel like USC really wants to be in this game. They're kind of, 5 losses through 12 games played, finished on a 3-game losing streak. Their defense struggles. The final game of the year, they gave up 38 points. They actually gave up 24 points in the second half, 350 plus total yards given up, and they were scoring 20 points on 387 yards. So I just think that I think a team that's kind of limping into this game with a team who wants to come in and shock everybody, and Jake Plummer, or not shock everybody, but keep making a name for themselves. After losing that game against Florida State in the ACC championship, I feel like Louisville's on more of a high right now than USC. And when you lose a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback going into this game, I feel like you're destined to lose. So I'm locking in Louisville -7.5 for this one.
Okay, good stuff. I got to pass just because, man, USC lost their backup quarterback to the portal.
Mm-hmm.
Guess he wasn't given the starting spot or guaranteed it, and wanted more money, is what I heard. Plus, you don't have Caleb Williams playing. Just the reason I'm not going to bet this game is USC has made 2 really important staff changes, at least on the defensive side of the ball, bringing in UCLA's D coordinator and then bringing in the head coach of North Dakota State. That's a tough program to leave, but they about tripled his pay to come in and be like some weird title, just like the head coach of the defense or something.
Mm-hmm.
So that little don't know how the defense will change there. And then Louisville, man, they ended the year real tough, losing back to back to Kentucky and in the ACC championship to Florida State. So I think Fobs are low. So I don't want to lay it over a touchdown with them. So best of luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Last game on the 27th is 9 p.m. The Texas Bowl. It's Texas A&M versus Oklahoma State. What are the lines there?
So we got Oklahoma State or Texas A&M favored by 2.5 some places. Over under is sitting at 52.5, 53.
Okay. I do not have a play. I would lean the over in this game. I like points being scored.
Yeah, there's just so many uncertain. Like these are gonna be fun games to watch, but like, do I want to invest money in them? Not necessarily. Like, love what Texas A&M did, what the coaching staff hires. Love that Mike Elko's down there. Really think that's just an awesome hire, and Texas A&M will actually be able to see their potential in the years forward. But man, it's just a no touch for me. I mean, Oklahoma State got their ass whooped by high caliber offense in Texas in that Big 12 championship, so they're not too high. It's gonna be a backup fest and portal fest for Texas A&M. I guess like if I had to pick, I'd maybe pick Ollie Gordon to be the MVP of this game.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a prop bet, that's the only surefire thing is that they're going to feed him. So yeah, that's what I have. Stay away. Don't invest your money.
Yep, and that's why just the lean on the over, just because so far in the bowl season we've seen points scored, so you never know what you're going to get with transfer games, and Ollie Gordon I think has a good game here. All right, moving on to December 28th. It's Thursday, 11 a.m. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl, SMU versus Boston College. What do you have lines for this?
So I am looking at SMU -10.5 to -11 and an over under of 50.5.
Okay. Do you have anything going on here?
Yeah. I got 2 picks actually.
Oh wow.
Don't care about it being in Boston on December 28th.
Yeah.
This is where we will feed into the global warming propaganda and say that it's not going to be snowy. SMU is still going to be able to pass the ball around. And I love SMU -11 here. They're a good football program, man.
Hmm.
They're going to be a good football program for years to come once they enter the ACC. Boston College, not a good football program. Got to bowl eligibility and lost their last three to Miami, Pitt, and Virginia Tech. Bailey scraped by Syracuse and UConn to get to bowl eligibility. This is technically a home game for them, but man, SMU, they don't play defense too tough, and Castellano is at quarterback, who is their leading passer and rusher for Boston College, is going to have a chance for some points. We're going to go SMU -10.5. It's available at FanDuel, and we're going to take SMU BC over 50.5.
And that was one of my locks as well, too. I was taking the over 50.5 in this game. Um, like you said, I don't really feel like it's you playing Boston College at Fenway. I don't think is a home field advantage for them.
It's not
by
going to be
any
like
means.
a red bandana game.
No, and usually games played at Fenway. I mean, usually when you play a game like the Pinstripe Bowl or those fields that are on baseball fields, Fenway typically does give up points. Like it's, and I hate to do this, but it's built more like a football stadium than the other stadiums are. So
Yeah,
like,
I think it's an awesome place to have a bowl game.
yeah, and it's because of the Green Monster and how the field's angled on the field. You're not getting as much of the outside weather to impact this game. Like at Wrigley, when it was Northwestern and Iowa, yeah, it's Northwestern and Iowa. But because of the way that the fences aren't too high, you're getting a lot of wind and a lot of elements in that game, which slows down scoring. In Fenway, you're almost playing like it's almost a dome atmosphere where it's the wind and all that. It doesn't really affect it. That and like you said, SMU is just one of the top offenses. I think they fly. So I like a lot of points being scored in this one, and I just love the over. All right, moving on. 2:15 on the 28th, the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. So another baseball stadium bowl game. Rutgers against Miami. Miami of Florida, that is. What do you have line wise?
I got Miami -1, and I have over under set. It's around 40.5. Man, this is I really want to bet under,
Mm-hmm.
but it's probably just a no go for me. I don't know. I believe in both these defenses. It's just Miami boys playing in New York City. Like, are they really that motivated to be there? Are they good with the cold? Probably not. Rutgers is going to be more physical. They're going to play Big Ten football. But man, Miami has the talent edge by far. It's just a weird game. Um, I lean under, but who knows if the Miami defense gives up, this game could hit like 42, 45, 49 pretty easily. So
What did you say the spread was at?
Miami -1.
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from it, but I am leaning Rutgers to
I'd lean
cover.
Rutgers too.
Probably Rutgers to win the game.
Schiano,
Yep.
coaching matchup, Schiano over Cristobal all day, every day. So
Yeah, I think that's the
guy
biggest
sucks at
component.
coaching.
Yeah, so
Really good at recruiting.
yeah, that's my lean is Rutgers in this one. Like, and actually, your point about Miami boys playing in New York City is actually fuels my pick a little bit more
Valid.
too because
Valid. Yeah.
it's the University of Miami.
So is that official lock for you? Rutgers?
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, let's go.
We're going official. Rutgers is going to cover. And then I'm also going to sprinkle the money line in on that as well.
It's probably got a 115 out there
Yeah.
or something.
All right, cool. That's my third one. I love it. All right. December 28th, 5:45 p.m. Pop-Tarts Bowl, NC State versus Kansas State. This game actually is intriguing to me, but I don't know if I'm going to really put a big pick on it. First off, what are the lines? What's the total?
It's mostly sitting at Kansas State -2.5. Across the board, over unders looking about 47.5. You get both. Do you have a pick on this one? Man, I'm just not impressed with NC State, and Kansas State lost everybody, coaching
Hmm.
staff and players included. So, I mean, maybe my lean here would be NC State because, I guess they have some good momentum. They brought in Grayson McCaw from the transfer portal. He'll be on the team next year, or at least in the spring. That's something to play for. Maybe I know Kansas State's pretty down and out with everybody they lost. Will Howard going to USC,
Yep.
so I don't know man, about that, but we'll see. If Lincoln Riley must see something, he's the Heisman whisperer. So
True.
I'm not
Yeah,
going
I
to doubt it.
mean,
But that was not who I thought. I thought USC was going to get Jaden Daniels or Jalen Daniels from Kansas.
I did too. Yeah, so far it's been kind of wacky. Yeah, not much with this game. It was intriguing. If the line was flipped around and it was Kansas State underdogs, I would take them. But for this, like you said, it's one of those transfer games where I don't know who's going to really show up and so much turnover. I'm probably leaning the under in that game. All right, December 28th, 9:15 p.m. Valero Alamo Bowl. This is Arizona and Oklahoma. What do you have line wise?
I got Arizona -3 with an over under 62.5.
62.5.
I'll start it off here. I'm locking up Oklahoma +3. I really like the +3. The +3 is really important. And Arizona took care of business this year everywhere they needed to. Um, Oklahoma had a tough stretch losing to Kansas and Oklahoma State back to back, but they ended up beating the shit out of West Virginia, straight by Kentucky, and just won a shootout with TCU. Billy Gabriel gone. Honestly, don't think that matters at all. I love Jackson Arnold, the backup quarterback at Oklahoma. He is the future there. He's the best quarterback they have since, I don't know, if Caleb Williams doesn't count, he's the best quarterback they've had since Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I'm really excited to watch this game. I think this is the first really really good bowl game we're gonna get all year with starters or at least high talent people playing. Yeah, let's see this Jackson Arnold to Drake Stoops connection all game. And I think if you can get a +3, I feel good about it. You're gonna get Brett Venables, um, a better quarterback, and a whole month to prepare his defense. I like Oklahoma.
Yeah, I agree with you too that this is the first real good bowl game that we're gonna get to see. And I think this is more of a shootout as well. But Oklahoma backing it up, that's good. I just think there's going to be a lot of points scored, whether it's Oklahoma scoring all their points or Arizona. Like you said, they've had a great season, so they could score points as well. I'm leaning towards the over. That's not an official pick here, but I do like Oklahoma to win and cover in this game as well. All right, moving on. We're getting closer and closer. We have December 29th. That's a Friday. Noon, Tax Slayer, Gator Bowl, Clemson versus Kentucky. What do you have line wise for this?
Clemson -4 over under sitting at 46.5.
I have no idea what to do with this game. I just,
I mean, I'd lean under based on what we saw Kentucky do against Louisville. I guess that's their only ACC matchup there.
yeah.
I love both defenses. I still think Clemson's defense is really good this year. It's a really good coaching matchup with Stoops and Sweeney.
Mhm.
I'm not going to make a bet here, but this is going to be a fun one to watch just if you're a football junkie. I mean, not too many guys from Clemson are hitting the portal or opting out if you play for Dabo Sweeney. So you're going to get a pretty full strength Clemson team in a team in Kentucky that handled business when they were supposed to, and that's all you can ask from that program. So, yeah, I guess I'll stay off of it.
Yeah, I'm nowhere near this game. Under 46.5 would be my lean, but
It will be a fun one to watch.
yeah, it'll be fun. I don't know what to think of for either team, so I'm gonna stay away. And we're gonna look ahead to the second game of that day, December 29th, 2:00 p.m. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl. This is Oregon State versus Notre Dame.
You should get Frosted Flakes dumped on you if you win this one.
Absolutely. Oh my God. With
If-
milk or without milk?
Winners get milk.
Winners get
Winner, winners
winners
get milk.
winners get milk.
You'd have to pour it on quick, don't get or get soggy. I wouldn't want milk poured on me though.
Yeah,
An
that's
hour you
nasty
still
as
have your
hell.
shit on at 2 hours
Uh,
after with the dried milk. Maybe not.
Talking to people, yeah, that's
Logistics thing. We'll revert back to just frosted flakes. But man, this is just the opt out bowl. No Sam Hartman, no Audric Estime, um, no starting quarterback, backup quarterback for Oregon State, plus their head coaches at Michigan State now. They've got a whole team that's hit the portal. This is like the end for Oregon State. Kind of feel bad for them. They lost both their top tier quarterbacks. They lost probably the best head coach they've had in my lifetime. And, they are not part of a Power Five conference next year. So I mean, I guess I'd lean Notre Dame to with all their backups to cover the 6.5, just based on a pure talent and recruiting perspective. I think Notre Dame would have better guys, but we'll slowly watch them lower Oregon State football into a coffin for a decade of probably failure going forward. So enjoy your last game, ranked Oregon State, because you probably won't be seeing it for a while.
Yeah, like you said, it's the opt-out bowl. And when it comes to that, it's who's got more talent on their roster. And yeah, it's Notre Dame. So Notre Dame to cover. Would you say 6.5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Notre Dame 6.5 would be the lean. But again, this is just it's a rough situation for both teams to be in and playing this game. Notre Dame had the high expectations all year, and then Oregon State, like you said, next year, their conference is gone. So it's going to be a sour game. All right, next game on the 29th is 3:30 p.m. the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. This is Memphis against Iowa State. Let's see, what do we have for lines on this one? I see.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
We're
You're
at
fine.
Iowa
You're
State
good.
minus 9.5, over under 57.5. 9.5 is a little pricey for Iowa State.
Yeah.
But man, there are no buts. I mean, I know personally because I've known guys that have worked for Campbell, on that Iowa State staff in the past, and my feedback from them was that all they did was bowl prep. Like, there was no fun. After the season, they took this game as serious as ever. Took those 15 extra practices really seriously. So I know Iowa State's going to be prepared, but man, watching them over the years in their competitive bowl games they've had since about 2019, man, they always find weird ways to lose, like last second ways to lose by 2 or 3. If you go back to their bowl scores over the years, so it'll be a no bet for me.
Yeah, if I were to lean anything in this, I would lean the under in this game, but again, it's another no bet. All right, moving on. So this is the 29th, 8 p.m., the first of the New Year's Six bowls, I guess you would call it. I don't really consider this one, but whatever. Goodyear Cotton Bowl, Missouri versus Ohio State. Where are your lines at this one?
Missouri minus 1, over under at 49, 48.5. Ranges all the way to 49.5 if you want it. But mostly 49s across the board, even. That's a no bet for me. I just don't know what the hell Ohio State's going to come with. I think people are sleeping on Ohio State a little bit, though. Because it's not like, dude, it's like Ohio State, top 5 recruiting class for like the last 5 years. Like, it's not like the guys that they're going to play are just like backups you have from Marshall. So, yeah, but Missouri's taking this shit really seriously. Eli Drinkowitz, alpha nerd. Man, he knows what this means for recruiting. And Ryan Day and Eli Drinkowitz go back and forth. They're in some recruiting battles against each other. So, I think Eli takes this game very seriously. And I don't think Ryan Day doesn't. It's just he doesn't have, he might not have the team chemistry that you want going into a game like this. So, yeah, I got to pass. I got to pass.
All right. Well, you're the resident West Virginia guy. putting your lock in there, so I got to put my lock in with this. Ohio State money line.
Okay.
Lock it up. They're going to win the game. Um, it, you said it. People are kind of sleeping on Ohio State, and as an Ohio State fan, I feel like if Ohio State's not favored in a game that didn't have a conference championship participant, then that's wrong. And yeah, it's Kyle McCord opting out. A few other guys entering the portal, but at the end of the day, Ohio State still has talent, second, third, fourth stringers. They might not have game talent, but in this game, you're going to have a different dynamic at quarterback with Cam Brown. He runs a little bit more. I think
Devin
that's
Brown?
Devin Brown. Sorry,
Good.
I don't know why I said Cam. Why did I say Cam? I don't know. Devin Brown. He's more of a mobile threat, and I think that's exactly what Ohio State was missing throughout the year. Their quarterback just wasn't mobile. He wasn't able to move and make stuff happen, and that's the biggest thing in this is you got to have a quarterback who's able to roam around and give time for Marvin Harrison Jr. and your elite wide receivers to get out of the pocket and make plays happen. I'm trying to find out here who is confirmed as not playing in this game for the Buckeyes. Because I know that, and of course it's going to stop freezing. Look at this. This is rough. I know Marvin Harrison hasn't made a decision yet. There's some who think Marvin Harrison comes back next year.
No way.
That's
cute. But, if he wasn't a top 5 pick, maybe. But, he's going to try to come back and beat Michigan instead of taking, $25 million guaranteed.
He's going to make so much more in NIL at Ohio State.
I don't think he touches $25 million.
I think
he maybe touches 8 if he comes back.
Either way, Kyle McCord not playing. I still think the Buckeyes come out, and I think Ryan Day, as much as everyone rips on Ryan Day for not preparing for the big games, I think he'll come out and.
Dude, he prepares for the big games. He always gets screwed by the refs.
Listen, that last game he wasn't prepared against Michigan.
Man, I will say Ryan Day has a history of being on the wrong side of 50-50 calls from the ref.
Okay.
The Clemson game, scoop and score.
Right.
That could change the whole trajectory of his tenure and maybe have people not calling for his job when he's lost 6 games in 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, I hope you guys win. I'll probably put a small bet on it.
I think they win. It's a lock. It's locked up that they're going to win. All right. December 30th is that Saturday at noon. Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Ole Miss, Penn State. What do we got for
it's mostly -4, but there's a 4.5 at Bovada.
For Penn State.
And we are going to utilize that. Meaning, over on 48.5, by the way. But meaning we're going to go all the way to Latvia in the interwebs and bet this game at Ole Miss plus 4.5. Love what Ole Miss has done in the transfer portal since the end of the year. Still think still waiting on Drew Allar to have a game where he actually throws over 250 yards. Don't think that'll happen here. My only fear is that Lane's too busy out recruiting and hasn't been preparing for this game. But what I do know is Drew Allar is good, not great. He'll be great by the end of his career. But he doesn't scare me. And I know that Penn State's lost their defensive coordinator, Manny Diaz. He's now the head coach at Duke. I think that's a big loss. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ole Miss plus 4 here. If you're going to give me over a field goal in a game, in a toss-up game like this, Penn State's always loses the big one, it seems like. So we'll, even if they win, we still have a chance to cover. So,
good.
So Ole Miss plus 4.
I'm leaning the under in this game. I don't like Penn State's offense. I don't like Drew Allar, but I'm leaning the under in that. All right, 2 o'clock on the 30th, Music City Bowl, Auburn versus Maryland. have for the lines on
The one thing that is certain about this game is that Hugh Freeze is a bitch.
that?
So that's all I really have to say. I think I'm not going to put money on Auburn, who loses to New Mexico State, and then loses to Alabama like that. How they did. I mean, screw those guys. And Maryland, I think, did Tualia or whatever his name is break the Big Ten passing record?
Yeah, I'm sure.
That's like the most silent, unimpressive,
well, because their season was kind of weird.
His whole career's been weird.
Yeah, because they haven't been able to put consistent seasons. Like they start talking about them, and then Maryland just kind of plays so mediocre, like below mediocre.
There's not even worth talking about.
Yeah, they fall off the radar, and
I like their coach.
Yeah.
And then I guess I haven't really seen him in any national spotlights. I remember 2 or 3 years ago with his little brother, he threw 5 picks against Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just the mediocre for Maryland and asshole for Auburn and Hugh Freeze. So this is a mediocre asshole bowl, not the Music City Up Bowl. And with that, you don't have a pick, do you?
No.
All right, next game.
Lean, just real quick, lean.
I lean on Hugh. Actually, here's a lock. Hugh Freeze sucks.
There we go. All right, that's it. We'll move on.
Lock that up.
All right.
Georgia, Florida State.
Orange Bowl. Georgia, Florida State, 4:00 on the 30th. Oof. Man, what are the lines first?
You got Georgia -14 over under 44.5.
I'm riding with Georgia -14.
Dude, I want to, but every time I've taken a spread with Georgia this year, I've just gotten burnt. They're just not concerned about covering the spread. No idea what the motivations are actually going to be after how are you going to be back-to-back national champions and then lose in the SEC and then have any sort of motivation to play in this game against a third-string quarterback or second-string, whatever. I don't know. 2 touchdowns a little steep for me. You get that inside 9.5, maybe.
I think because Florida State's on a second or third string quarterback, and Georgia, even if Georgia doesn't have to get up for a game, I think they're still 14 points better than Florida State just walking out onto the field.
Yeah,
I think here's what
Florida
I think's
State's
going
had
to
some
happen.
guys hit the portal too.
Yeah, and I think Florida State comes out and they run that narrative oh, we were screwed. We're America's team and everyone backs them. They might come out punching the first quarter, but I think
they'll get suffocated eventually.
Yeah, Georgia's just going to play Georgia football, and they're going to wear them down, and a third-string quarterback isn't going to do much for Florida State. I like Georgia easy cover in this game. All right. And that was at 14, you said?
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, December 30th, 4:30, the Barstool Arizona Bowl, Toledo, Wyoming.
Gotta bet this one.
Okay.
Wyoming.
Hey.
-3.5. Man, Wyoming was one of our best locks from conference championship week. Or not the last week of the season, before that. Rivalry week. Man, and I hate MAC football in the postseason. Daquan Finn will not be playing for Toledo. He transferred to Baylor, so Toledo's down their best player. Yeah, Jason Campbell, their head coach, has been rumors of taking jobs left and right and interviewing for jobs left and right. So, plus you got just corn-fed bosses on Wyoming. I just think they suffocate Toledo. Yeah, I might bet some alt lines on this, but I love Wyoming -3.5. And our boy Austin Peasley, the quarterback for Wyoming. Cover machine.
Yeah, I'm leaning Wyoming -3.5. All right, now we get into the new year. Happy New Year on January 1st. Noon is the ReliaQuest Bowl, and that's Wisconsin versus LSU. What do you have lines there?
Mostly sitting at -10, -9.5 some places. I gotta check if this is legit or not, because I'm gonna take this, because we do line shop here. Over unders sitting at 54.5, 55. I need to verify this because it's hard to believe, but Bovada has an LSU -7.5 available. I'm logging on now. If that is available, that's the line we're going with. because we shop and we're good bettors.
And we find that, and that's a lock for both of
We
us.
find the best price. But if I see that this is not the case, I'm still gonna lock up LSU. And I know Jaden Daniels not playing, but dude, they've been calling for this other guy to play forever.
Mm-hmm.
Nussmeyer or not? Shit, I don't know his last name. That's not a good look. Sure, let me look for this line.
You're finding that line, see if it's available. Um, what was the other line? You said like 10.5 or 11?
9.5.
It was at 9.5.
Mm.
Yeah, I would still lock up LSU. I was looking at total for this game. I don't know if I can really mess with the total because I don't think Wisconsin's going to be able to score much. At the same time, I don't know if LSU is going to be able to cover it on their own. So
Bovada took it down. So the honest street is lying. LSU minus 9.5.
minus 9.5.
Yep.
I'd still lock that up.
That's a lock for me.
LSU is a complete team compared to Wisconsin. I just think Wisconsin's not really prepared to play a team like LSU, even though they don't have Jaden Daniels. Like you said, they have a backup quarterback who could probably start at Wisconsin. I just don't think Wisconsin's in any position to be around this team right now.
Mm.
I think this is an easy lock for LSU minus, would you say 9.5? Yeah. All right. Did you have anything you wanted to add into that?
No, I think Brian Kelly will be prepared, and I think Wisconsin's not that good.
Okay.
So, weird bowl matchup.
It is.
Yeah, it's kind of lopsided for I know I guess it's not technically a New Year's Six bowl, even though it's on New Year's Day.
So weird that they do that. Like I don't understand it. Okay, January 1st, 1 o'clock, Fiesta Bowl. Liberty versus Oregon. What do you have
This
for
is a pass all around for me, but Oregon minus 17.5, over under sitting at 66.5.
over under 76.5?
66.5.
I'd probably lean the under, but this is a hard pass on me.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
like
want
Liberty.
anything.
I like Jamie Chadwell, their head coach. I like the way their quarterbacks played all year. And then no Oregon. He's Dan Lanning's gonna have his guys ready. Bo Nix is playing. Not many opt outs. Yeah, this is just an all around pass. It's got pass written all over it. Just enjoy it. This game has so many different outcomes that it could actually happen.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely don't feel comfortable laying the 17.5.
No. Oh, no, not at all. All right.
Although, no matter how dominant Oregon's been, it's like you look like if we are talking before the Pac-12 championship, I'm probably laying the 17.5. But now with motivations and Liberty's happy to be there, dude. They're freaking undefeated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Handle business every week this year, so it'll be a good one to watch.
Yep. All right. Three left. We got January 1st, 1 o'clock, the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl. This is Iowa versus Tennessee. First of all, tell me what the total is.
36.5.
Under.
Okay.
It's the under.
Move on?
I mean, do you have anything you want to add?
No, this is a stay away game for me too. I don't know how seriously Tennessee's taking this.
Exactly.
They're trying to get Milton out of there and have this Nico guy who is apparently supposed to be, $9 million NIL value.
Yeah.
Savior of Tennessee football. So I don't know if they're going to try to rush him and get him reps against probably the best defense. I mean, a really good defense to play against and practice against. I know Iowa's not going to move the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to the Cover 3 I think it was Cover 3 podcast. And they brought up, like, why doesn't Iowa just show up in 4 wide? Like, who cares? Like, they should have done that for the Big Ten championship, too. They should have just ran something completely different. They don't score points anyways. They should have just showed up in empty sets the whole game and, like, tried to throw the ball around and caught Michigan off guard. They should do that here. I know they won't. Yeah, I like your under as long as Tennessee doesn't run it up too much.
Yeah. Yeah, and then that's all we have to say about that.
Okay, we're down to the big games.
Here we go. First college football playoff is January 1st, 5 p.m. It's the Rose Bowl. Bama against Michigan. What are the lines at currently?
We're looking at Michigan minus 1.5. Over under sitting at a nice steady 44.5. across the board.
Okay. Now,
Oh, I might be able to get you 45.5. FanDuel, if you want the under.
I don't know. The total in this game kind of, I'm not sure what to just really think with Saban right now. The one key storyline in this game that I don't know if maybe it's blown out of proportion a little bit, but it's Michigan's ex linebackers coach, correct? That was fired, got hired by Bama.
Bama. Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this: if you have respect for a coach, right? Let's say you respect Harbaugh as a coach, you get fired in the wake of all this. If you respect Harbaugh, do you sign on with the team that he's playing
I
in the
know Connor
playoffs?
Steins would never. You'd never
Exactly.
catch Connor Steins. But was this the guy that got fired?
This guy got fired.
This was the guy that got fired in the investigation. I didn't never verified that, like, who it actually was.
Yeah.
There were dudes that got fired like last year for like weird
Oh
shit
no, this guy.
that's
Yeah.
still getting investigated. I'm wondering like when all that's going to come to light. Like dudes getting fired for like computer crimes.
Yeah, this
but, like,
wasn't one of the
never
no.
getting real details. That's like another weird Michigan thing going on that people just like totally forgot about.
Yeah, well, the cheating thing's done. But if you get fired and then you go and get hired right before the game to the team that they're playing, I think that. I don't know.
Dude, I got a fun fact. I think Connor Steins is still working for Michigan in some
I
sort
do
of
too,
fashion.
100%.
Some sort of, let's get a private Ryan Day, hire another private investigator to look into that.
Just change his name.
Not
Connor
even. Just be
Callings.
like, no, I'm just a fan now. I'm
Yeah.
not a paid employee. I can go film whatever the hell I want. I can go on
That's
any
true.
sideline. And
Yeah.
I could accidentally email stuff to the coaching staff. And sorry, I accidentally pressed send. Yeah, dude, I don't know what to do. Like, the hot pick or like the trendy pick is obviously Alabama, right?
Yeah.
And I can't really look anywhere but betting Alabama. I mean,
Yep.
Michigan is kind of disappointing me every step of the way. I mean, I don't think it's their offense and JJ McCarthy that won that game against Ohio State. And their two touchdown, I thought it was the defense, but their two touchdown drives against Iowa combined for a total of 11 yards.
Yeah, I'm going with Bama.
You're going to give me Saban versus Harbaugh. We've seen Alabama and Michigan play like 2-3 years ago in a bowl game. Maybe it's 4 or 5 now. I'm getting old, but and we saw Alabama kind of whoop them. But this is still the same Alabama team that almost lost to Arkansas, almost lost to Auburn. It's not like everything's figured out. I don't think, and I guess I don't want to bet against Jalen Milroe. So,
I'm going Alabama in this game.
No official lock for me. But
no official lock.
You're official on Alabama or no?
No official lock. Heavy lean on Alabama.
Heavy, yeah.
What do we have? 2.5 or 1.5?
1.5.
1.5. Yeah, even heavier lean on Alabama. So, all right, and then the final playoff game, the Sugar Bowl, 8:45 on New Year's Day, Texas and Washington.
Dude, this, it's -4.5. -5 something. Oh no. We don't take sport trade or profit exchange seriously over here, so we'll do consensus line -4. Oh no, you can get a +4.5 at ESPN Bet, and that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. I have doubted this Washington team all year. I faded them. I've said it's time for them to lose. It's time for them to lose. It's time for them to lose. They've proven me wrong every time. They came out and beat what I thought was the top 3 team in the country, Oregon. Gave them the business. And I think I'd just be dumb to bet against them here. I am scared of big game Sark, but Quinn Ewers is one injury away. One wrong fall on that shoulder. Arch Manning is actually the third stringer. I don't expect him to come in and be a gunslinger again. They already lost Malik Murphy to the transfer portal.
Yep.
So I don't expect, if anything happens to Ewers, for Arch Manning to come in a college football semi-final game and light it up. That'd be an awesome story if he does, but I don't think that happens. I'll go with what's been working all year for Washington. I think he should win Coach of the Year. I think he is. He might have already won a few Coach of the Year awards, but Kalen DeBoer is just a man over there. So I think he wins the coaching matchup. I think he won the talent matchup. little worried about Texas's D line being too much. But I expect a shootout, and I expect Washington to come out on top in the end. But if I'm going to get 4.5, I'm at least going to take it.
Yeah, I had this locked up Washington to win. I think Washington wins the game, so whatever points I get, I'll take that and stay away from the money line. But Washington plus 4.5 for me, that's a lock. I mean, I believe difference in this game, the two teams are not too far apart. The reason I will like Washington a little bit more is they've been they've been in more tight games throughout the year, high scoring and low scoring. I believe that having that big game pressure and that kind of, scoring differential stuff like that has done them well, and I think it'll continue to kind of equip them well in this game to kind of, at least keep it really, really close. And like I said, pull out the win. I think they win the game. Um, it's a matter of just watching Washington all year and what they've been able to do and how they've been able to overcome. And we say Washington isn't this, Washington isn't that. They just kept winning. They beat Oregon twice. I mean, they're a battle-tested team. I think they come out with a big game, and I think we're seeing a Alabama-Washington national championship come, January 2nd. So
That'll be, man, any combination of these teams is going to be a good national championship.
yeah.
Too. This is the best 14 playoff. Sorry, Florida State, but matchup-wise, this is the best 14 playoff I think we've ever had.
Yeah,
So,
and so there's my my college football championship game prediction is it's going to be Bama Washington.
I hope so. I want to see Bama Texas again because I think Texas wins.
Yeah,
And I don't really want to watch Michigan in the national championship, to be honest. So they're kind of playing just boring football. I want to see Jalen Milroe versus this Washington offense. So yeah, I'm with you. Let's go. Let's go Alabama Washington national championship picks.
there we go. All right, and like we said, that last episode is going to be our national championship episode. We will have, we'll have picks on everything from spread, total, first half, second half. We'll even have player props thrown in there. We're going to have everything. It's going to be the Super Bowl of college football. So we'll have a nice big episode. We'll have a lot of picks, kind of talk about where we're thinking and where you should be looking to find the best value. All right, let's roll through real quick. I'll run through with my locks, and then leans are kind of throughout the episode. So I'll run through my locks first. I got almost unplugged myself there. That was fun. I got Louisville minus 7.5 in the Holiday Bowl. That's on December 27th. I got the over 50.5 in the Fenway Bowl. That is December 28th. Rutgers plus 1.5 in the Pinstripe Bowl. That's also December 28th. Ohio State money line in the Cotton Bowl on December 29th. Georgia minus 14 against Florida State in the Orange Bowl. That's December 30th. LSU minus 9.5 against Wisconsin. ReliaQuest Bowl, January 1st. And Washington plus 4.5 in the Sugar Bowl against Texas on January 1st. Leans for me were, let me get back up to the top. Tulane plus 10.5. West Virginia minus 5. Over 52.5 in the Texas Bowl. Under 47.5 in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Over 62.5 in the Alamo Bowl. Under 46.5 in the Gator Bowl. Notre Dame minus 6.5 in the Sun Bowl. Under 56.5 in the Liberty Bowl. Under 48.5 in the Peach Bowl. Over 46 in the Music City Bowl. Wyoming minus 3.5 in the Barstool Arizona Bowl. Under 66.5 in the Fiesta Bowl. Under 36.5 in the Citrus Bowl. And Bama minus 1.5 in the Rose Bowl.
It's a lot of action.
Again, those were the leans. So the locks are at the beginning, the leans are there. So that's
as long as you'd find it.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm not going to repeat all the stuff you just repeated, but I got WVU minus 5. We'll get that at Bet Rivers. They're playing North Carolina, SMU, Boston College. That is the Fenway Bowl. We're taking SMU minus 10.5 and the over 50.5. Oklahoma plus 3. Maybe sprinkle money line against Arizona. Ole Miss plus 4.5. Maybe sprinkle money line. All these unders might as well just sprinkle money line. That's against Penn State, Wyoming minus 3.5, LSU minus 9.5, and the Washington Huskies to cover was 4.5 against the Texas Longhorns.
There it is.
Man,
Next episode you hear us will be the national championship episode.
and hopefully, I got 13 picks to be decided. I'm sitting at 22, 25, and 3. 13 picks to be decided before we talk next. I'm just saying now, by the time we talk again,
Gonna be riding high.
I'm going to be riding high. We're going to be positive and pulled this shit out of the gutter from, 14-19 record at one point this year.
Yep.
So
Man.
we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. We'll see you in a few weeks here. Happy holidays. Have fun watching the Bulls. Go ahead, hit them with the socials one last time this year, and then we'll get out of here.
Follow me at FujiBets on Twitter or X.com. Follow Dan at DPosk13. And most of all, follow the pod at CFP_pod. College Football Playoff, do not copyright us. We get the most views all year this time of year. So just let us keep going.
Right. You can listen to us wherever you get podcasts. That's Spotify, iTunes, iHeartMedia, YouTube. Everywhere that you find a podcast, we are there. Like, comment, subscribe, send to your friends. Use us, man, and let us know what you're thinking as well. We want to hear from you. So that's all I have. Do you got anything else?
No, interact with us on Twitter. Talk shit if you have to. I don't care.
Please do it. All right. That's Fuji. I'm Dan. See you next year.